Jamaican community, business community, to trying to gather support
Okay.
from billing supply, funding, and food stuff for some of our members who have been affected by Hurricane Melissa.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, some of your members were bankrupt even before Melissa. What's the Melissa impact on
Most
it?
definitely.
Right.
Most definitely. And Melissa come, make it even worse.
Okay.
So tell us now about what you have been hearing from those members, especially in the worst hit areas.
Well, what I'm hearing is that most of the members, and most of them, and you're dealing with the micro and small, as was struggling before, and now Melissa even make it worse. And I think that the government is too slow
Agreed.
Yes.
to open commerce.
Yes.
I was in the news on Monday, and I get to understand that some people is very upset with this article.
Okay.
No, I was a former JLP MP caretaker. Right now, I not Jamaica first.
Yeah.
And this is where I am at right now. And so I say before, and I'm saying again, that the government is too slow to get the country back on track where small micro business is concerned, and to put back commerce back on track.
Right.
Micro and small business is the engine of growth for any Jamaican economy.
Correct.
And therefore, we need to move faster. I was at the airport yesterday, and I called 14 small business operator shop closed.
Yeah.
And when I asked why, they said all these business owners have been affected by Hurricane Melissa one way or another.
Right. So people within the JLP administration are upset because you said that they're moving too slow.
Well, I hear talks that some members are upset.
Yeah.
And some members also agree that the government is moving slow.
Yes.
I saw where the Prime Minister make some changes at ODPM. A good move, but we still need to move faster.
Yes.
And this is not what Garnet Reid is saying. This is what the majority of Jamaicans,
yes,
right,
both locally and abroad, other organizations who know that they're free to come out and say it.
Yeah, man, you're right.
Well, I am taking this opportunity to say that we're moving too slow. We need to expedite the process and get commerce back on track.
Yeah, man. That's correct. What do you make of the Bank of the Jamaica's decision to...
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for yet another Wednesday evening. We call it Big Wednesday, Big Time Wednesday. Share up the live, call some people, ask them to join for us, because this evening is your evening. We want to hear from you. A whole heap of things, a crocus bag of things they have to talk about. Because I hear the minister in our press conference this morning. And I'm trying to bring the clip here because I want to hear this clip here. This
My
clip
last
here.
question
Yes.
is known to JPS.
See it here?
The 150
here?
million US dollar loan. I know you
want to hear
mentioned
this clip
yesterday
here.
that
Hold on,
based
back
on
up, back up, back up your
okay,
start.
my last question is
Don't play yet. Make we put it full screen. Make we play it now.
known to JPS. The 150 million US dollar loan. I know you mentioned yesterday that based on what they needed within the money that we are going to be getting from the international community, there is an allocation for JPS to also get part of that. I think the overall amount I need, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe 300 million US, I think I heard it said. So they're getting an extra maybe 150 million from this package. And I just wanted to know, since they couldn't get, or the argument was that they couldn't get loans on their own prior to coming into this situation because they didn't get the extension on their license, I wanted to know if now that they're getting this money from the international donors, if that loan was gotten based on a guarantee from the Jamaican government, which would then maybe add to our overall debt. I just wanted to get a clarification on that.
Okay, so remember, in the 6.7 billion that was announced, 2.4 billion of that was earmarked for private sector lending. So any amounts to JPS would be in that window out of the 2.4.
So we don't have to guarantee that debt at all?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, you hear that from the minister. The minister said, we don't have a guarantee the JPS debt. Is that a fact? Let me play it again for the item.
Okay, and then my last question is loan to JPS. The 150 million US dollar loan. I know you mentioned yesterday that based on what they needed within the money that we are going to be getting from the international community, there is an allocation for JPS to also get part of that. I think the overall amount I need, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe 300 million US, I think I heard it said. So they're getting an extra maybe 150 million from this package. And I just wanted to know, since they couldn't get, or the argument was that they couldn't get loans on their own prior to coming into this situation because they didn't get the extension on their license, I wanted to know if now that they're getting this money from the international donors, if that loan was gotten based on a guarantee from the Jamaican government, which would then maybe add to our overall debt. I just wanted to get a clarification on that.
Okay, so remember, in the 6.7 billion that was announced, 2.4 billion of that was earmarked for private sector lending. So any amounts to JPS would be in that window out of the 2.4.
So we don't have to guarantee that debt at all?
No.
Okay.
So the minister said we don't have a guarantee JPS debt. Now, I don't know. Maybe I am not so well informed. Yes, I saw Dunstan Brian. He's at the PAC. That's what we're still looking at in the background. So, this is what the minister said in the parliament yesterday. This is what she said yesterday.
About projection of 68% for debt to GDP. How do I compare? About the loan to JPS, is the government prepared to lend the entire amount? I think that was your question. So the loan to JPS was 150 million US dollars so that they could accelerate the pace at which Jamaicans get their lights back, at which businesses get their light back. Madam Speaker, already I could say to you, you don't have to worry that the government is going to lend the entire amount, right? already our international partners have indicated that within that package that's announced, there is about 450 million for JPS. And what that will do is allow for our loan of 150 million to be repaid back to us, so we get back the liquidity. It didn't happen last Tuesday. It's happened after that.
No, no, I don't think that are nothing.
About projection.
Hold on. So we still upon this JPS loan because the government is hiding something from us. They are hiding something. And I want to listen to this discourse here now. This discourse here happened today in the PAAC. Listen to Damian Crawford and the financial secretary. Listen this.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I'd like to ask the broader questions first and then get to the ministry. PS, there is a advertised 6.7 billion US dollars, approximately what, $1 trillion Jamaican, that is coming in loans and other types of offerings. Can you explain the segments that this is broken down into?
All right, so before I touch segments, can I just indicate that the $6.7 billion that was quoted in the headline on that press release includes some of our instruments or disaster risk financing instruments that were in place. So the 6.7 is not all additional to what we already had in place. So approximately 3 billion of the that's not right. 3.6, right. Approximately 3.6 billion is proposed new loans to come from the named institutions. That's the CDB, the IDB, the IMF, World Bank, and CAF. For a total of approximately 3.6. They are also proposing to mobilize private investments to the tune of 2.4 billion. And that would represent the new amounts. The rest is our instruments.
The rest you had told us about at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Sorry?
The rest you had itemized at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Yes. All right.
So that the 0.7.
Yeah, the 0.7 was from the CAT bond, the CRIF, the.
All right. So if I can focus on the 2.4, could you explain what is meant by mobilizing investment? Is that a loan?
Love is why you
coming to the government to unlend, or is that a loan directly to private sector?
That's would be primarily the IMF, the World Bank and the IDB, private sector arms, who generally mobilize money from the private sector in order to lend to the private sector of the country.
So it's private to private?
Private to private.
So that 2.4 billion have not been secured?
No.
So what has been secured is the 3.6 billion and the money from the insurance.
In terms of on the government side, that is what is.
Okay, so the headline would have been misleading to say 6.7 billion secured.
You could say that.
Okay, so the 2.4 billion that is to be mobilized, is that dependent on the appetite of the private sector for borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation
Okay.
of what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4
Listen.
billion JPS could apply if it so decides,
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions, sir.
Did not finish.
Dependent on the appetite of the private sector for borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation
Okay.
of what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4 billion JPS could apply if it so decides,
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions, sir.
I'm sorry. All right. Have you any information about the loan to JPS itself from the government, the 150 million or 23 billion Jamaican?
That negotiation is underway.
So that has not been closed as yet?
It's not closed.
And no interest rate or anything have been identified?
The minister did speak to something yesterday.
Can you remind me if you know what the interest rate is?
5.5.
5.5%. Okay.
Make sure.
Hold on, people. Hold on. Not done yet. There's another little piece.
As it relates to the loan to JPS, are you aware if there were any other method considered, including a government guarantee?
I think you need to address those questions to the minister.
Reasonable. All right. So what hit would that $23 billion have on the current capacity to spend? Based on the supplement, have you seen that would have impacted the ability to spend on other items?
Okay, so the country is in the recovery process from the hurricane. This recovery, given the devastation, is going to take several years. There is really a limit to what can be spent in any given period. So providing the JPS with this money will not, in the current period, impact the country's ability to continue the recovery.
Okay. If I can go back to the 3.6 billion, is that front loaded? Do you know?
Is it what?
It's for over 3 years. Is it front loading more money in the first year, second year?
No details on that.
No details on that as yet. All right. If we can move to the Ministry of Education.
All right. So, hold on there now. Because we have to make this thing harmonize. We want to go back to what the minister said yesterday about the JPS loan.
The question about the loan to JPS, is the government prepared to lend the entire amount? I think that was your question. So the loan to JPS was 150 million US dollars so that they could accelerate the pace at which Jamaicans get their lights back, at which businesses get their light back. Madam Speaker, already I could say to you, you don't have to worry that the government is going to lend the entire amount, right? Already our international partners have indicated that within that package that's announced, there is about 450 million for JPS. And what that will do is allow for our loan of 150 million to be repaid back to us so we get back the liquidity. It didn't happen last Tuesday.
I wonder if you know hear what the minister say. The minister would say within that package. Hold on there.
Is the government prepared to lend the entire amount? I think that was your question. So the loan to JPS was 150 million US dollars so that they could accelerate the pace at which Jamaicans get their lights back, at which businesses get their light back.
Listen.
Madam Speaker, already I could say to you, you don't have to worry that the government is going to lend the entire amount, right? Already our international partners have indicated that within that package that's announced, there is about 450 million for JPS. And what that will do is allow for our loan of 150 million to be repaid back to us so we get back the liquidity. It didn't happen last Tuesday.
So, peeps, you hear the minister. Now, the package that the minister is talking about is the amount of money that has been loaned to Jamaica by the multilaterals. Now, when you listen to the first clip I played with Damian Crawford and the financial secretary, she made it clear that the loan is $3.6 billion. You hear what she said? The loan is $3.6 billion. Then there's a facility of $2.4 billion for private investment. You hear? This lady, I'm going to play it again for you, because the Prime Minister is talking about misinformation and lies. We are saying that a lot of the misinformation and lies are put out there by GLP surrogates, and I dare say confusing information by the Minister of Finance. Because when you listen this information that we are getting here, I'm going to make sure I cut the clip them now. You have to wonder and ask yourself now, what is all of this? Because the financial secretary broke it down. Listen again.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I'd like to ask the broader questions first and then get to the ministry.
Carefully.
Yes, there is a advertised 6.7 billion US dollars, approximately what, $1 trillion Jamaican that is coming in loans.
You hear what Damian say? 6.7 billion US dollars approximately $1 trillion Jamaican coming in loan. Listen.
And other types of offerings. Can you explain the segments that this is broken down into?
All right, so before I touch segments, can I just indicate that the $6.7 billion that was quoted in the headline on that press release includes some of our instruments or disaster risk financing instruments that were in place. So the 6.7 is not all additional to what we already had in place. So approximately 3 billion of the that's not right. 3.6, right. Approximately 3.6 billion is proposed new loans to come from the named institutions. That's the CDB, the IDB, the IMF, World Bank, and CAF. For a total of approximately 3.6. They are also proposing to mobilize private investments to the tune of 2.4 billion. And that would represent the new amounts. The rest is our instruments.
The rest you had told us about at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Sorry?
The rest you had itemized at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Yes. All right.
So that the 0.7.
Yeah, the 0.7 was from the cat bond, the CRIF, the.
All right. So if I can focus on the 2.4, could you explain what is meant by mobilizing investment? Is that a loan?
Love is why you
coming to the government to unlend, or is that a loan directly to private sector?
That's would be primarily the IMF, the World Bank and the IDB, private sector arms, who generally mobilize money from the private sector in order to lend to the private sector of the country.
So it's private to private?
Private to private.
So that 2.4 billion have not been secured?
No.
So what has been secured is the 3.6 billion and the money from the insurance.
In terms of on the government side, that is what is.
Okay, so the headline would have been misleading to say 6.7 billion secured.
You could say that.
Okay, so the 2.4 billion that is to be mobilized, is that dependent on the appetite of the private sector? For borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation
of
what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4 billion JPS could apply if it so decides?
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
Or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions, sir.
I'm sorry. All right. Have you any information about the loan to JPS itself from the government, the 150 million or 23 billion Jamaican?
That negotiation is underway.
So that has not been closed as yet?
It's not closed.
And no interest rate or anything have been identified?
The minister did speak to something yesterday.
Can you remind me if you know what the interest rate is?
5.5.
5.5%. Okay.
Ease out, Crawford. Ease out. Ease out. So, people, my understanding is that JPS not getting the money yet. Or if them give JPS the money, them give them without the agreement signed off on. Because you hear what? This is the financial secretary. She's the person who put in most of the work in the Ministry of Finance. She's like the permanent secretary, but they call her the financial secretary. Marsha, good evening.
Evening. Help me because me not really understand so well. Me not versatile in them things. But when Tracy Vaz, Dari Vaz, tell me right.
Yeah.
Last week, him did say the government of Jamaica will lend JPS, what, 150 million?
150 million USD.
The finance minister was right there beside him.
Yes.
Me never hear anything from her. What really taking place now?
No, but what they said that is that the loan to JPS from the Jamaican government. Minister Favour Williams yesterday said, we don't have to worry. We'll get back with money because within the package from the multilaterals, there is $450 million for JPS.
So hold on. So JPS one are gonna get so much out of it?
But hold on. Because the government need to come to the front of the class and actually take the mic and answer some questions. Because Zara Burton asked the minister today if the Jamaican government is going to stand security for that loan. And the minister said no. No. My understanding of the money coming from the multilateral is a loan to the government of Jamaica. And if you were listening carefully a while ago to the financial secretary, she said that $2.4 billion out of it is from the private sector side of two of the multilaterals. So it's for private business, private. In fact, Damien said private to private. And Damien asked her if JPS would get money from that. And she said she don't know.
Oh, God. No.
No.
Now, Colin.
Yeah.
Now you can understand why the government of Jamaica don't want the PNP to be on any of the committee then.
It's not only the PNP them no want. Them no want private sector, them no want NGO, them no want civil society.
Because some questions going to come where they cannot answer because them hanky-panky not going to work out. Something not right. Something not right. Something else ship a one.
And we are being lied to constantly because I'm going to play a next clip in which we were lied to yesterday during the Prime Minister's presentation.
And me ain't tell one lie and the PNP then sit down and say nothing. Let me tell you the one when me hear him tell.
Which one?
Him say that him get report that when the PNP them get the things them to issue, they only issue to PNP.
Well,
now the government give the PNP MP them anything to issue.
Yeah, man, give them little man. I style it because I have that clip I want to play to you, because if you listen to the entire clip with him in that, him find out say I go down one road where him now go winning. Because remember now him say he may make the Ministry of Labor and all of them tell how much them give to MP. Before him done the discussion, him change it to constituency. Tell her. Prime Minister. Tell her. Continue
the program.
No, we want the Prime Minister to know that this is a digital age Prime Minister.
Yes.
This is not the analog age.
Yes. And just before I go, why Warmington all of a sudden are changing about dual citizenship now and them kind of something there?
What him say?
We not him talk something to the time change now and the argument I make shouldn't be a problem if you have dual citizenship and be in a parliament now. That's the line of argument when I come up with now.
He need to pay about the monies that he collected sitting in the parliament while he had dual citizenship.
Me God. Think you know it, me not say nothing further. I want Dolly Baby in they're supposed to answer question. If you look, you will see one doll sit down behind the Prime Minister and just position herself to clap.
And behind the cameras.
Yes. I got, sir. I got.
Easy, ambassador.
Yes. Hold on, Colin.
Yes.
Hold on, just quickly. Who are the finance minister? The prime minister of favor?
The prime minister, sir.
Me gone.
Later.
Later.
The prime minister in the parliament yesterday. Listen to the prime minister.
Our economy relative to our debt, and therefore in short order, you can look forward to growing, increased revenue, and a relatively smaller debt to the size of your economy. We have never before had an opportunity to spend $6.7 billion relative to our...
Stop. So, if we are spend $6.7 billion, that is all of the money where I come from the multilateral. We are live on Portland Spice TV right now. Yeah, man. 876-804-7072. That's the number to call. We're taking your calls this evening. This is Big Wednesday, where the truth is what we put forward. And we ask the Almighty God to help us to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. If JPS is going to get money out of the 6.7, or we going to spend our light, I want to put it to all and sundry that the government of Jamaica will be lending JPS $450 million US. You hear me say? The government of Jamaica will be lending JPS $450 million US. That is about $72 billion. Excellent is thy name.
SHACKA.
Where I say?
That's a very powerful statement to make, you know. But I will just work with it. You know, yesterday, Faval, the Honorable Minister, in my opinion, well, apart from the paltry presentation that she did, which was lacking of substance from what we were anticipating, she came to Parliament with an agenda like the PM, which was to come and curse people. She came there trying to throw jobs at Ralston and other people.
Then not them style.
She said it shows that some people who are talking don't know about GDP calculation. And when she was asked by Julian if this GDP prediction, this projection was before the loan or after the loan, she had to wait to get an answer from somebody else for about 15 minutes after before she could answer.
But
this woman is out of the loop, you know.
But excellent. You realize they came to the Parliament yesterday to ease the financial, the fiscal policy, the fiscal responsibility rules.
The fiscal space, yeah.
Right. So they came to the Parliament yesterday to relax that. And you realize who had to stand up and send them back or rewrite the document because it's pure garbage. Them up on the document. Mark Golding had to stand up in the parliament. I mean, them have this document perusing from, I think, at the first time when the Prime Minister come to the parliament after the hurricane. Right? And said that they are going to relax the fiscal rules. And when they come with the paper yesterday, major error. I wonder if the Labour right now saw. I wonder if the GLP operatives saw that yesterday, that Mark Golding had to save Favour Williams again.
Shaka, let me tell you something. When I hear Favour presentation, and I'm no economist, and you know that, but I try to read.
Yes.
When you see the things that she said, and the lacking of substance, you must go tell people what the projected debt to GDP will be before you take a loan of such a huge amount. Will it not impact the country's debt to GDP ratio? She came in, I wonder if she came to deceive, or she herself was just deceived by what was on the paper. Because she did that. When thing I couldn't understand with her, when she was asked what are the growth projections or the growth programs that will be in place to grow the economy, you heard her response? That's why we have the NARA, the National Refund. Can you believe that?
No.
You are the chief architect of the financial architecture of Jamaica.
What is she? She's Minister of Finance and Planning?
Yeah, she's the Minister of Finance.
And Planning?
Financial.
And not just finance.
So she's the chief financial architect. And I'm saying, if you are the chief financial architect and you can't tell me what are the plans you have, then something wrong. You need to go.
Listen,
you need to go, Shaka.
Let me tell you something. It is obvious that the incompetence of the government is on show. And the government is also hiding something from the people of Jamaica. Because they say that we're getting 6.7 billion US. And when we check out the real situation, it's 3.6 billion. We're getting as loan to the government. So the government now have $6.7 billion to spend, like the Prime Minister announced. Listen to the Prime Minister, people. No, listen.
Our economy relative to our debt, and therefore, in short order, you can look forward to growing, increased revenue,
is this
and
true?
a relatively smaller debt to the size of your economy.
Listen,
we have
now.
never before had an opportunity to spend $6.7 billion.
I am asking the Prime Minister of Jamaica. I'm asking our Labour right, is that true? Is the government getting 6.7 billion US dollars to spend, like the Prime Minister said? Is that true, Miss? Is that true, Excellence?
Well, Shaka, I'm sure we all heard the Financial Secretary.
Yes.
And we heard what she said.
Yes.
And I don't think she's a liar.
And somebody is saying, Jacob is saying, no, that's not it. This one. Jacob is saying the private entities don't have to take the loan.
That is true.
Crawford asks,
they don't have to.
Crawford asks her, doesn't this depend on the appetite of the private sector?
Of the private sector, yes.
Hello. Don't lie to
but
it.
But Shaka, let me ask you a question, Shaka.
Yeah.
I know you're a businessman. You don't have loans officer who come to you sometime and say, Colin, we can give you a loan of 6 million.
Hey.
To borrow. I just say, boy, I don't want it now.
Them not come to you all. Sometimes they send it in an email, pre-approved. And you cut your yaya fight. So Crawford asks the right question. Doesn't this depend on the appetite of the private sector.
Let me tell you something, Shaka. Right now, I feel like I must watch the PAAC more than I watch the Parliament. At least truth come down there. Truth come at the PAAC.
Well, you
I'll
see,
be a light in the Parliament.
you see, one of the things is that the people that come to the PAAC are the technical people.
Perfecto.
The technical people, they are the technocrats. And when they don't want to tell the lie, them tell us, say, ask the question at other places.
Yes, man.
And they will tell you that they don't know. And when the man from ODPM come, him says 116,000 package will give out. 1/5 of what we should have given out.
Boy, Shaka, these labor rights have taken the Parliament. It's like in the Bible, how the scribes and the Pharisees took the temple of God to be a place for peddling and for sales.
They need to be
the
chased
labor rights
out.
have prostitute the Parliament to make it a place of lies and deception
Yeah,
to
man.
the Jamaican people.
All right, my
that is
brother.
that.
Little more.
All right.
I'm going to play a little more of what the Prime Minister said yesterday. Because the man said we're going to have $6.7 billion to spend.
Smaller debt to the size of your economy. We have never before had an opportunity to spend $6.7 billion relative to
Hold
our
on, caller, hold on.
GDP. We have never had that opportunity. US. And our GDP is somewhere in the region of about 17 to 18 billion dollars.
You're the next line.
$19 billion, thereabout. The Minister of Finance reminded me, $20 billion.
I want to ask the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. Very simple question. What was Jamaica's GDP before the hurricane? And what is our GDP after the hurricane? Because any fool, any numbskull will know that it can't be the same before the hurricane and after the hurricane. The minister yesterday tried to paint a picture that the $8.8 billion damage is just a measure. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good evening, Mr. Good night, Mr. Bell.
Blessings
only
and
one
welcome.
question. There's only one question I would like to ask. Can the PNP have a town hall meeting to explain to the public? That's all I call, sir. Thank you.
Of course they can have a town hall meeting.
Because we are not getting nowhere in Parliament. And what they should do when that woman tell them, turn off the mic, do not sit down. Stand up until the mic turn on or everybody go home. That's all. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let me tell you something. 876-804-7072. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Big Wednesdays. Talk to me.
Good evening, Colin.
Hold on. Don't move. Hold the line for me. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Shaka.
Yeah, man. You're next. Hold on. There's a lady before you. Ladies before gentlemen. Go right ahead, madam.
All right. So when I'm on the ground, going through the different parishes, I am seeing where houses are destroyed. We see the power lines down, and we see a very few of the roads being damaged. So I want to know, like a lot of the people in these areas, because I don't know if the government is going to give these people money out of these $6 billion that they say to help them build back the houses. Other than the houses, the businesses, to me, in my mind, they should have insurance. The hotels and all the other businesses should have insurance, where the insurance help them to build back if they were damaged. So I'm not thinking that the government should be lending businesses, well, any of this money. That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
And then for the roads, you would have had the Spark and the Reach and the regular funding to fix these roads. So should we be even borrowing so much money knowing that we're going to have to be paying it back?
All right. So we have not taken the money as yet. This is what is an offer to us. And let me tell you something. $2.4 billion out of it is not what is going to the government. It's foreign investment. So this is money that if there's a foreign investor want to come invest in something in Jamaica, those multilaterals will lend that investor the money. You understand? So when the Prime Minister says 6.7 is a lie, and I don't know if you heard the clip I played earlier with the Financial Secretary explaining 3.6 is what the government is getting to borrow to rebuild. Here, 3.6.
Well,
And
Colin,
hold on. And we have about 700 billion. So you'd call it 4.3 that the government have going to spend. Caller?
Right. So, Colin, I'm here. Just like the previous caller, I would like for the PNP to have a town hall and explain how this money can go or should be dispersed, because people are of this view, and I believe the message is being sent when they do this kind of presentation that people who are mostly affected by loss of houses, for example, will get any of it.
And
It is not rocking up that they will get anything at all.
But this is why I tell you now, that when you see the Prime Minister go out there and I run off his mouth, when the Prime Minister go out there and said this, when him go out there and say this,
and it is one thing that you will see about me. Me not afraid of nobody.
I said to you, the Prime Minister a lie again, him coward like dog. Prime Minister, if you're not coward, come answer pertinent questions. We know say you are, when it comes to badness, you are the baddest. But when it comes to being afraid of the media, you're coward like dog, Prime Minister. And we challenge you because we are saying to you that you are misleading the country.
Right. So, Colin, we really want them to come and tell us the truth. Let us know. As it is now, it seems as though people who lost their houses will not get anything. So
I'm not going to agree with that. I'm not going to agree with that. They go and get something. They have to get something. They have to get something.
But we're not seeing a trajectory that they will get something. The houses that they said they were going to purchase, you realize that they say how many of it is going to be sold through NHT and how many will be given out through social housing, and the history of the social housing is giving away 1-1 houses.
Yeah, 1-1.
So it don't look as though the majority of the affected people will benefit. So we need a town hall for them to break it down to the regular man for them to see how they will benefit.
It's not the PNP must come to the town hall, because the PNP is not who going to administer these funds. It is the government that is going to administer these funds, and it is the government that must make themselves available to the media and to put on these town hall that the average man can walk in, walk up to a microphone and ask questions. And the town halls must not be politically built or built as a politics meeting. It must be a town hall for citizens, and they must give the media opportunity to ask questions. And that is why you have misinformation, because they want to tell you where them feel like and bamboozle the people them. And we are saying, no way, Jose. No way. Thank you, caller.
Colin, yeah, man, big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Good evening and welcome.
Yes. I want to ask some pertinent questions. The Financial Secretary, she is like the PS in the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
So let me find out from you then. Wouldn't she has to be part of the negotiation that is taking place with JPS? Sure. Or just the Ministry of Finance?
No,
the minister.
She is the technocrat. Yeah? She's the technical person. Because the minister don't have to be an economist, you know.
Understand that.
You see, just like how you have Dr. Tufton, who is not a medical doctor.
I understand all of that, you know.
And the permanent secretary, them really are the responsible officer in the ministry. In the Ministry of Finance, you have the financial secretary. She is the person who really run the day-to-day operation of the ministry.
So answer this then. Why is it that the question that Damien put to her gives the impression that there is still negotiation taking with JPS, but the minister is saying something different?
Hold on. She didn't give an impression, sir. She said the negotiations are still ongoing, not closed yet. She said it.
All right.
Hold on.
Wrong choice of word.
Hold on.
So I take it.
You see? Receipt evening this evening, you know. She said it, my brother.
Chairman.
Yes,
Chairman, I'd
I
like
agree,
to ask
I
the
agree.
broader questions first.
All right, so before I touch segments.
So she got segment up the loan and then she got to
indicate that
JPS.
the $6.7 billion that was quoted in the headline on that press release includes some of our instruments or disaster risk financing instruments that were in place. So the 6.7 is not all additional to what we already had in place. So approximately 3 billion of the that's not right. 3.6, right. Approximately 3.6 billion is proposed new loans.
New money.
To come from the named institutions. That's the CDB, the IDB, the IMF, World Bank, and CAF. For a total of approximately 3.6. They are also proposing to mobilize
you hear this now?
Private investments.
Listen.
To the tune of 2.4 billion.
2.4 billion private investment.
That would represent the new amounts. The rest is our instruments.
The rest you had told us about at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Sorry?
The rest you had itemized at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Yes.
All right. So that the 0.7.
Yeah, the 0.7 was from the cat bond, the CREEF, the.
All right. So if I can focus on the 2.4, could you explain what is meant by mobilizing investment? Is that a loan?
Love is why you
coming to the government to unlend, or is that a loan directly to
so
private sector?
That's would be primarily the IMF, the World Bank and the IDB, private sector arms, who generally mobilize money from the private sector in order to lend to the private sector of the country.
Ease out. You hear what she said? $2.4 billion will be mobilized by the World Bank and the IDB from private sector to lend to private sector.
Yeah. But you don't see we're in a bigger problem. Because the 3.6, we're not getting that in one time period, you know.
No, it's over 3 years.
Yes. So, remember Damien asked if them are going to front load, like lend us
more
a bigger amount.
Yeah.
And she couldn't answer that.
Because, hold on. Because guess what happened? The details of this money don't work out yet. The government not sit down with the IMF yet and work out the detail. They don't know at what interest rate we're going to get this money yet.
Yeah, but look at the damage and whatever the government have to do. We don't have any money to do nothing. You know, realize that.
We have 700 million US ready to spend where we have right away. We're supposed to have that money, access to that money. Some of it alone, but that money there ready where we can spend right now. 700 million US dollars.
Yeah, but if we still short a lot of money, that is the thing, you know.
Yes, but hold on, you know, we don't reach to the GPS part of this thing. You know. Hold on, don't move. Like we go to the GPS part.
So it's private to private.
Private to private.
So that 2.4 billion have not been secured.
No.
So what has been secured?
Hold on. You hear what she said? The 2.4 has not been secured. The World Bank and the IDB said they will mobilize Forget that.
3.6 billion and the money from the insurance.
In terms of on the government side, that is what is.
Okay, so the headline would have been misleading to say 6.7 billion secured.
You could say that.
Okay, so the 2.4 billion that is to be mobilized, is that dependent on the appetite of the private sector for borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so
Okay.
I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation
Okay.
of what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4 billion JPS could apply if it so decides,
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions, sir.
I'm sorry. All right.
Wanna hear that? The financial secretary can't answer no question about the JPS loan.
Then that is where me that going in the first place. Why is it that she, the chief person, are not privy to those conversations?
Because
the other question I want to ask.
Yeah.
When this thing of 6 point how much billion was unknown, why is it that is here at the PAAC that it was revealed that is only 3.6?
You see,
you see how misleading these people are?
No. I tell you something though. Well, and I can't say they're not misleading, but when you read the document, you would have seen, because there's a document that we get that tell you who will lend how much, which institution will lend the country how much. And it is in the document that there's a mobilization of private investors for $2.4 billion. But this lady today made it very clear.
Yes.
She made it very clear
that
what was in the gleaner of $6.7 billion is incorrect.
Okay.
She made that clear.
Clarify this other part of it. Is it that some of the monies that they are talking about, Jamaica already get that some of those loans?
Yes.
To the tune of 6. So could the 2 point how much billion that is there now, they're adding to the 3.6?
No. There's 700 million that will be added to that 3.6. And that $700 million include that cat bond you hear they talk about, where them say we have that insurance of 150 million, and the CRIF, another insurance of 90 million, and then there's another loan fund that we could have drawn down urgently. That 700 million include all of them there. So that 700 million is a part of the 6.7 we hear them talk about.
Okay. All right, Bridget.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. 876-804-7072. We are saying to the Prime Minister, our platform is available to you. It's available to the Finance Minister. It's available to all government ministers to come on and clear up any misinformation that you think we are giving over here. Because we pride ourselves on speaking the truth and nothing but the truth, so help us God. And if we are giving wrong information, we want it to be corrected because we want to be accurate over here. We want to be consistent over here. And we are saying to the Prime Minister, when you tell the country, you and the Finance Minister yesterday, that our GDP is 20 billion US dollars, we are saying no, that is not true. It cannot be. It was $20 billion on the 27th of October. But there has been a phenomenon. The little matter of Miss Melissa that happened on the 28th of October. We would love to know what is Jamaica's GDP since Hurricane Melissa. Don't tell us it is the same. You, sir, are giving misinformation. I want to go back to the Financial Secretary with Damian.
Right, so I don't have all of those details. There's money from the private sector in order to lend to the private sector of the country.
So is private to private?
Private to private.
So that 2.4 billion have not been secured?
No.
So what has been secured is the 3.6 billion and the money from the insurance.
In terms of on the government side, that is what is.
Okay, so the headline would have been misleading to say 6.7 billion secured.
You could say that.
Okay, so the 2.4 billion that is to be mobilized, is that dependent on the appetite of the private sector for borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so
Okay.
I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation
Okay.
of what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4 billion JPS could apply if it so decides,
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Hold a sec, caller. Hold a sec.
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions,
Hold a sec.
sir.
I'm sorry. All right. Have you any information about the loan to JPS
Hello?
itself from the government?
Hold the line
the
for me. Hold on,
150
just a
million
sec.
or 23 billion Jamaican.
That negotiation is underway.
So that has not been closed as yet,
It's not closed.
and no interest rate or anything have been identified.
The minister did speak to something yesterday.
Can you remind me if you know what the interest rate is?
5.5.
5.5%. Okay.
Yes, caller. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, man, thanks again. My thing is, it's good that we get some money. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, we need
But
we need
yeah, we
some
need
money.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we need some money. But my thing is, why the Prime Minister sound like we get free money?
and even worse, if we did get money where we could invest.
Yeah,
It's money if it build back or mash up.
yeah. Because the question is, what that money is going to use to do specifically in
To
SHACKA?
build back the roads, help build back the businesses, build back the courthouse, build back the municipal corporation, build back government institute buildings were mash up. All of them
So what
something help
so in the-
individuals get back into a good shelter.
But I said, you know, you're good that we get the loan, but if Prime Minister can't, because we lose the economy basically or mash up basically because you can't get to generate the money that you use to, especially say back down in the south here, so the north south, where you're talking about hotels and in Food Basket Parish in terms of St. Elizabeth, so that's a major hit. So there's no income basically coming back from that side, and that's a big hit.
Yes.
Because no tourist is gonna come Jamaica in this condition basically. So I'm saying the Prime Minister can't, we have to go pay back the loan, we are gonna pay back the money.
Then I must
just make it so just make it so like we get it's 6.7 billion. I'm alive. I said, boy, I want money that
Yes.
But I want the pressure we have to under because we have to pay back that money there.
And like Mark Golden said to him,
know how much.
Like Mark Golden said to him yesterday, if we don't use this money properly,
yeah,
it can damage Jamaica forever.
Of course, because the thing is that how much we got interest rate, how much we are gonna pay upon the interest rate. That's one again. How much we're gonna pay?
We don't know that yet.
All of this is gonna be years. We're going to pay back this thing. And my next point is that oh Jesus, my last point. Oh Jesus. Well, you said some of the money the JPS. You said that we're getting loans. Some of the money that we're getting is from the JPS is gonna get money from that.
That's what the Minister of Finance said in the Parliament yesterday. And I am positing that it is the government of Jamaica that is going to lend JPS $450 million.
My next point is that. So it simply means that the teachers, the nurses, the police and doctors, nobody look for the reason.
I don't know. Tala. Worries in the dance. Worries tonight. Worries in the dance. Me say worries.
Them they say we have the best economy and the thing nice. And then they are half our teachers and the publicity are kind of 0%.
You remember that?
Year.
You remember?
So I'm saying, so me feel say no, them all get 0, 0, 0. So them all take by the 2%. I can guarantee them all take by the 2% them.
Well, I'm going to try to talk to Lambert Brown and find out where we're going with those civil servants negotiations.
But my final point.
Yeah.
My final point is that and the topic and the Prime Minister talking about people in giving away and broadcasting it and so forth. We have a petty Prime Minister. He's very petty.
Yeah, man.
And it's just like a woman that she alone want the attention.
But something, Carla.
Him alone want the attention. He don't want nobody else get it. Realize every time he go give her something. If I give her one house, Chilani, him left from Kingston, go way at Chilani. When you have an MP down there who could have do that. Him just want to take picture. Him just want to post it up. Him love them stuff there. So when people come and I do them stuff now, it take away from him, and then it show him up. So he's very petty.
Let me tell you something. And we need to understand that the Prime Minister is a human being. And with all this pressure, Prime Minister under pressure, and pressure a bus pipe.
But him under pressure because that people elect him, so if him work, and if he not work, he must come under pressure. That's why we elect you.
So you have to give him a little leeway. When he make all them the outbursts there, somebody need to just pat him on his shoulder and say, Prime Minister, go no man, go drink, take a drink and go lay down. Put up your foot and get some rest.
We're not give him no leeway. You know why? Because I'm third term. So he's not a just come person.
Well, he's learning on the job. And him not learning well, him not grasping the thing fast at all.
He made tough into ignorant man.
Not grasping the thing fast. All right, respect. 876-804-7072. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Bell.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you. To my knowledge, the Prime Minister must be doing something.
I don't understand you. What do you mean must be doing something?
Yes, he must be doing something, and what he's doing is nothing.
No, I will not agree with you that he's doing nothing. He's doing, but what he's doing is not adequate. It's not enough.
And that's why we consider it nothing.
Well, little is much. Little is not nothing. He's doing a little.
What I realize he's doing is using Jamaica to be his personal business. The country is not even secondary to his thoughts.
Well,
he's using the country as if the country and its assets and its people is his personal belongings. You ever can recall when you were going to school, you have this particular child that whenever time in seeing parents is when he choose to fight you.
Yeah, man.
And when he lick you, he run go behind him parents and go hide.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is the Prime Minister. That is the Prime Minister. He is a big baby.
The man said the Prime Minister is a big baby. I don't agree.
Well,
Prime Minister a bad man and I'm Clark's.
No.
Listen, man.
He is
Listen, man.
a big baby.
No. You're the man. You're the man.
And it is one thing that you will see about me. Me not afraid of nobody.
You hear that, boy? You hear that?
That is just lip service. me and you know, in come like one balloon or you blow and you oi.
Tell her.
Yeah. Yes.
No, but the Prime Minister afraid of the media like puss. Afraid of the media.
Well, and I don't think to say him really afraid of the media. I know I don't. What he is a fear or afraid of is for his followers or his believers to realize that he is that lie.
Yeah.
So is that is his problem.
Yeah.
What the people that he is misleading, he refused to let those people know that he is so really lying.
No, him no refuse. Him cannot afford for people to know that he has been lying. But we're going to run here.
All right, sir.
Big up yourself. 876-804-7072, the Colin Bell Show. The big show on a Wednesday. Go ahead, caller.
Big up, SHACKA.
Bless up, my brother. Wagwan.
There, you know. The Prime Minister, man, I just show the Jamaican people them run out with the gift them, you know. And show him up.
Yes.
Show him up, send slow. That's why him back so right, you know.
Yeah, because the people them say we now make we people in dead for hungry now. Our brother and our sister them down at Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth and down at St. James. Yeah.
So I'm alone and the camera must roll upon when him give us me one house and I do anything.
Yeah, man, the man know why you take him limelight, man. What you do? What you do? The man nah do that.
So yeah, the criminal libel, you know, law when they want part, that's what they want to shut me up.
That's what they're trying to do. But the truth is, though, caller, when people come on social media and defame people, there must be consequences. There must be consequences. And that's why me I tell the boy when I'm DP, don't call me no blogger, call me no blogger nor vlogger.
Okay.
You understand? Me am no blogger, me am no vlogger. I am a broadcaster. And I have been doing this on a constant basis since September 1995, long before Facebook and YouTube. I am a broadcaster.
Where the leaders of this country, you know, they don't understand the Jamaica society in discipline. And then not doing nothing to change it.
But you see, them appear some of the people them. Them appear some of the people them when they on social media defame other people.
Hello.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, man, and you need a leader who can shape society and shape it in the best way. Understand? As me say, well, you have to have a caring leader. Same like how him run him house, all that same thing run the country.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
Your leaders have to
So,
set example, brother. You have to set example.
You talk all the while, say the Prime Minister, thin skin, you know?
Yeah, man.
It's despicable. You know? Him don't love, when people criticize him and they burn him, his nose get bigger.
A Pinocchio.
Yeah, his nose
Hold
get
on
bigger.
there, hold on there. Hello, caller, good evening.
Hey, Colin there.
Don't move, I'll come right back to you. Yeah, my brother, finish up your thoughts.
Yeah, man, his nose get bigger and him start stroke him face. Like him a feel pain, you know?
Yeah.
Like he want to fight. And that's why he come out all the while and talk about war all the while, man. He never a good leader. Because she has got the talk, I know, say them not a good leader, you know, them can't lead.
Yes.
You understand? They might have. That is the one and have no good intention. Not even good intention.
And then a lot of people.
But only Bruce Golding alone that have good intention, but he can't lead.
All right, party. Respect and thanks for the call.
Big up yourself.
Yes, man. Blessings, good evening, my brother. Hold on there for me. Don't move a muscle. Let me tell you something. I am celebrating over 30 years in front of the microphone, in front of the camera. Over 30 years, I am celebrating. So me no vlogger, me no blogger. I'm a broadcaster, talk show host, musical presenter. Me no come on social media, come tell lie on people like your boy. You are lied. You are using my content to get views and likes. I mean, I'll stop you from doing that. But don't refer to me as no blogger or no blogger. You're out of order. Even you, when me bring in a media long before Holy Padis. Go ahead, caller. Thanks for holding.
You are going now, Colin.
Yes.
What I really think about this Prime Minister, yeah, really the views are not your views, these are my views. Right?
Yeah.
But what I think about this Prime Minister, yeah, that the people them who carry food come distribute to the people them have bring the people together. And I get the people them to feel like, you know, they're not alone.
Yes.
Saying? And him want that kind of attention for himself.
And not just himself him want it for. There's an embarrassment to it when him can't claim to be the person who is feeding all the people. And the fact
100%.
that the people are seeing it on video to show that the government has not been here, but the regular citizens of the country has reached out to their brothers and sisters and doing what they can do for them. The entertainers, the people in the creative industry are building houses. Him no like see that.
Him no like that. Him no like that. And also, like I said, the views are not your views, but also, I think him a hold on to the food that to distribute to use that for parish council election also.
I hear Zara Burton ask the head of ODPM today how much money has been spent so far and how much money they plan to spend. You hear they talking about vouchers and all of that. Them ask him how much money them plan to spend. Him no know.
Because, what you know, a lot of the people then they don't have no proper document right now. So, got all of that wash away. If you don't have no proper document,
go ahead, Colin.
we are going to present in order to get your voucher. You know, no document to present, so that means you're not going to get no food, you're going to starve. So therefore, him can hold on to everything now to use that back. Because definitely, they will hold back the thing then to parish council election. I might view that.
Well, that's what a lot of people are thinking. A lot of people have that view.
Well, at that me say, I know Me not normally misled like that too tough, you know me. I know that. I'm
Well,
always act like him slick, you know.
well, we not trust them.
We not trust
We
them
don't
at
trust
all.
them, my brother.
We not trust them a second.
No.
But Colin, me take you in a program every time, man, but first time at all, really. But me take you in a program just about every day.
Respect
Just
and
about
thanks,
every
man.
day.
I really
All of
appreciate it.
all of the e-cup here when me see the minister of the finance minister. But one of the things, again, Colin, a big concern when I have, the need to tell the minister them to watch her. You can't take some questions in a parliament. You need to start answer. Take a break and answer questions.
Yeah, but
and answer.
I want to suggest to the opposition though that them ask the question and request their answers after each one of them asks them questions.
Need to do that.
Yeah, man, I make them stop, leave out some of the questions.
Two strategies with them youth. Two strategies with them are youth on the people. And I mean not just who in a parliament, them are youth upon Jamaica people original. Them are, when them are for them opening statement, then chat for a long while.
Yes. Well, statement by ministers, them get a period of time to talk, and the shadow minister get 5 minutes to respond.
All right. But the need to break this cycle here. The questions them are piled up too much.
Yeah, I like that.
The need to make when you answer one minister a question, after you answering your set of questions, the need for when you finish talking to get up and then put
answer
all the questions. Then.
Yeah, man. And then him sit down back and the next man ask him question them and then he rise again. I saw it for go, brother. I saw it and I saw the standing out. I saw it for go to, you know.
But we don't know where them make them absorb one bag of question where them can't, because them not, we not see them have the expertise there for do dictation like that, man. That man with good dictation take so much question and not gonna answer yet.
Yeah, man, I don't like it neither, brother. Thanks for the call, though, yeah?
One big love, brother.
One love. 876-804-7072. That's the number to call. This is the Colin Bell Show, the big show on a Wednesday. Yes, man. Talk to me. This evening, we give you an opportunity to call in because over the last two shows, Monday, yesterday, we have a lot of guests. We take a lot of the parliament yesterday. And I want to hear Fieval Williams today telling Zara Burton.
My last question is loan to JPS. The $150 million loan, I know you mentioned yesterday that based on what they needed within the money that we are going to be getting from the international community, there is an allocation for JPS to also get part of that. I think the overall amount I need, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe 300 million US, I think I heard it said. So they're getting an extra maybe 150 million from this package. And I just wanted to know, since they couldn't get, or the argument was that they couldn't get loans on their own prior to coming into, this situation because they didn't get the extension on their license, I wanted to know if now that they're getting this money from the international donors, if that loan was gotten based on a guarantee from the Jamaican government, which would then maybe add to our overall debt. I just wanted to get a clarification on that.
Okay, so remember, in the 6.7 billion that was announced, 2.4 billion of that was earmarked for private sector lending. So any amounts to JPS would be in that window out of the 2.4.
So we don't have to guarantee that debt at all?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
So she said the JPS amount will come out of the 2.4. Now, JPS don't have security of tenure. So which private organization around the world is going to lend JPS money? Plus, the financial secretary say that not secure yet because the World Bank and the IDB said they are going to mobilize private sector funding of 2.4 billion. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Colin. Good night.
Good evening and welcome.
Yeah.
Your prime minister have an unquenchable appetite and a track record to take charity money and invest in his own benefit. I think the prime minister should take some time out.
Tell her.
The prime minister should take some time out.
And hold on, Carla. Let me make the people know, say, I know this man says so. At the Integrity Commission says so. Continue, sir.
Yes. And I think the prime minister should give it the integrity 3 minutes of silence in the parliament to help the Jamaican people to shine light on the criminal activity. And he should be ashamed of himself.
You know, you're the prime minister saying at the parliament yesterday is the lowest level of corruption we ever had in the country. And stop and wait. I mean, you hear nobody say what happened to your Integrity Commission certification, sir. Hey,
I'm gone, mate. I'm gone. Bye-bye, Colin.
All right, sir. Respect. No, when I hear the prime minister talk about integrity in the parliament, corruption, sorry. When the prime minister talk about corruption yesterday, Marie, what was your thinking? Marie.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were still talking to the caller.
No.
Good evening, Colin.
Good evening.
Colin, you know something? Are you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear. We are hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, all right. Good evening. Look here, Colin. When 911 happened in the United States, you see, Giuliani was the mayor at the time, right?
Yes.
And he did an excellent job. So, he was like America's mayor until I'm gonna get mixed up with Trump, and the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
I am thinking that this prime minister, right, wants to be the face of. You hear me, Colin?
Loud and clear. We're hearing you, Marie.
Okay, let me go ahead. All right, I'll continue. I think that this prime minister, see, he desperately wants to be the face of Melissa. So if anything, him can use it as like a white knight thing. He can crow about it and say that I'm the one who, do it. You understand me?
Yes.
Because I see, with some of his behavior, it's like him take a page out of Trump playbook, some of him things very Trump-esque, if that's a word.
Trump-esque.
So I'm thinking, yes. So I'm thinking that because Trump has a thing, everything like me do it, me alone can do it and stuff like that. So I think this is what this prime minister, Mr. Holness has in his mind. So this is a reason why he probably try to box out everybody else. Because you see now, the OPM now, Colin, has become the MOP, Ministry of Plenty. You understand me? Because I'm wondering if the finance minister, Ms. Williams, if she had a finance minister, or she just a de facto. Because yesterday, to me, when he stood up and gave that long speech, I was thinking that was something that the finance minister, that should have been her purview. Maybe I'm wrong. So you tell me if I'm wrong right there. When him take it over. So when she got it and just do little window dressing now. You understand me? There was nothing. Plus she come and get it wrong. So you want to tell me, so all the advisors and all of them people there, she must have people in the ministry that they could not see that something was wrong. And you see, them try to box out the opposition, and it took Mr. Mark Golding for him to say, no, you can't do this because you are shortchanging yourself.
Yes.
And stuff.
You're not giving yourself enough time.
Yes. And if you are shortchanging yourself, you shortchange in Jamaica too.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm talking about?
So you see who stand in the gap for Jamaica yesterday evening?
Yes.
When the government was about to make a fool of themselves.
Exactly.
Rubbish.
And then the prime minister now, when the opposition asks questions for which he has no plausible answers, him start dig up him chest and pop up him chest, and I'll let nobody threaten me. Nobody never threatened you yesterday, Mr. Prime Minister. The opposition has a right to ask questions. They're the people's representative,
But Marie,
instead of
Marie, for sure you're the man coward. The opposition leader simply said, I think it would be wise for the opposition to be a part of the recovery. And him take that as a
Yes.
threat. Coward like
Yes.
dog.
Yes.
Coward.
So, but you know something, Colin? When you catch people and do something, and whatever, and them not have no answer, them get ignorant and, and just fly off of the hand and stuff like that, which he had no right to do yesterday. And then, people, I respect you so much because since I've been listening to you, me not see you do nothing for clickbait. Me not see you do none of them things there. People do things for clickbait, but the opposition are play checkers. The opposition, we don't need Mr. Mark Jefferson to go in a parliament and behave the way how the prime minister behave. Mark don't need to do that.
No.
And people are talking about walkout. Look, people, the opposition cannot walk out of parliament each time that the government side do something that they don't like. They are there to debate, and because me watch other parliaments, I'm seeing in England where it wrote them rowdy and them go on and whatnot. As some parliament fight all bro. And so why every time about walk out and stuff? You cannot walk out. You are there to do the people's business. And if you have to stand up and you have to go fight fire with fire, I know that Mark is, them say Mark never stand up, Mark has stand up now. I like yesterday when the opposition, and some of the opposition, I soon come up, Colin, where yesterday him come with them bag of things like Santa Claus and not Christmas yet, are acting like these loans are gifts. And when Mark brought it to their attention that yes, we're happy for them and it's about nation building and all of that, but remember, this is something that generations will have to pay back.
Yep.
You don't want to hear that coming because they want to put the wool over people's eyes to make it look like, say, because Jamaica in a good standing and stuff. Look, Colin, even when you have good credit record and you go forget a loan, there's a certain limit that people say you can get $10, but you can't get more than the $10. And these are the conditions, don't it? You understand me?
Yes.
So this is what the opposition is saying.
And we don't hear the conditions. We don't hear the conditions of this loan yet.
Yes. And it's like right now, when your friend say, right now, you know what I ask me nothing, like a man and woman thing when man get ignorant and woman a question them and them get caught.
All right,
say,
Marie,
right
we
now,
have to
man
run.
a big man,
Yes.
Man a
little
big
more.
man, Come my ex-husband used to that. Right now, man a big man, No, you have to question me and go like me a boy, You understand me, Colin?
Clear.
And that is the way he's behaving.
Little more, Marie, we have to run. We'll give somebody else a chance.
House, a private house.
All
you
right.
can answer the question them.
All right, Marie. 876-804-7072. That's the number to call. This is the Colin Bell Show. Talk to me on 876-804-7072. We're coming to you live from the studios of Portland Spice TV, Port Antonio, Portland, Jamaica. Putting the truth front and center. The Minister of Finance said that Jamaica is not going to secure the loan for JPS. Minister, I want you to come and explain to us how JPS going to get this loan here from the multilaterals. Is JPS accessing this loan on their own steam? The minister told Zara Burton today at the press briefing that the government will not be securing the loan for JPS. If you miss it, here goes.
Okay, and then my last question is loan to JPS. The 150 million US dollar loan, I know you mentioned yesterday that based on what they needed within the money that we are going to be getting from the international community, there is an allocation for JPS to also get part of that. I think the overall amount they need, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe 300 million US, I think I heard it said. So they're getting an extra maybe 150 million from this package. And I just wanted to know, since they couldn't get, or the argument was that they couldn't get loans on their own prior to coming into, this situation because they didn't get the extension on their license, I wanted to know if now that they're getting this money from the international donors, if that loan was gotten based on a guarantee from the Jamaican government, which would then maybe add to our overall debt. I just wanted to get a clarification on that.
Okay, so remember, in the 6.7 billion that was announced, 2.4 billion of that was earmarked for private sector lending. So any amounts to JPS would be in that window. out of the 2.4.
So we don't have to guarantee that debt at all?
No.
Okay.
Who do you trust more? Miss Darlene Morrison, the financial secretary, or Favour Williams, the finance minister? Who do you trust more? Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Anybody here from Junior don't have Mobile yet? Tell Junior Montico be so we ask about him. We want to know if him all right. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Colin.
Good evening.
Okay, I have a few questions, maybe a couple or three.
Yeah.
First of all, I was watching Parliament on what you were showing yesterday.
Yes.
And my concern is, after we all get that information on their monies and Miss Favell and Mr. Onis and all that stuff, we don't get no answer yet. We don't get no answer yet, because even though Mr. Golding pointed out some of the things that they have lacking as he's told them to be sober, this is boring. We still not get none because from what I can understand, the paper that they give, and correct me if I'm wrong, the paper that they were going after is just a preliminary thing. It's not concrete yet.
Well, it is what the multilaterals are offering, but we don't accept it yet. We don't know the terms and conditions yet because we have not had those sit down with the multilaterals as yet.
So when they sit down, correct me if I'm wrong or give me any suggestion or ask Ralston, make with me we hear when you ask Ralston if you do, is this. So when they're sitting down to deal with it, the opposition are going to be at the table.
No.
Okay. Do they take a consideration of what the opposition would suggest or even input to them to go when they go around the table?
Not necessarily. It can happen, but based on what we know, that is not happening. They are not really involving the opposition in these things. And the truth is they are government. They were elected to govern, so they are governing. The only reason why the opposition is saying bring us on board is to deal with the recovery of the disaster, because this is a massive disaster, unprecedented. We have never had anything like this in Jamaica. And the opposition and civil society, the NGOs, the churches are saying, you know what? Let's have a broad-based committee that everybody's voice can be heard, opinions can be shared, and we use best ideas to go forward. But the government is trying to stick to this all by themselves.
Okay, now that you pointed out, two things that I've seen and clearly seen. I don't know if you see it and others see it. One, Mr. Onis take up one bag of thing on his head, and me hear you mention pressure. Nobody may ask him to become finance minister, security minister, the minister, them when take up on his head.
Hold on, you know, say I'm the security minister right now for two box fire blade. Box fire blade,
so nobody,
blouse and frock.
All right. Yes, so nobody may ask him to take up all of them because there's other people there can help him too. So when he put it on his head and he too heavy for him and he can't take it off of it, nobody now go sorry for him. That's a one.
Miss sorry for him.
Two, me not sorry for him. Because to be honest with you, that man has traded good governing guidance. He's trading true guidance, very good guidance, for misguidance. And him feel saying know everything and him is the smartest. So
well,
let him deal with it. You spread your bed, you lie down in it.
In claiming to be smart, hold on, him claiming to be smart, but we see that he's not clever.
All right. So don't boast to yourself. Me not even use the other because the goodness of God lasts forever. All right. We left that. Second, yesterday I watched Miss Onis do the same thing like her husband. Granted, 4 hours isn't enough to read over the question. They must per their standing order from Mr. Bunting to table it, to sign off on it and table it, because remember, they now go do it, discuss it. It's got to go take mostly 2 to 3 weeks to then discuss it really or whatever. But the questions need to be tabled, right? Okay. She said she was so busy. She said all these things, and Floyd Green, me eye on him because this man is I don't know what word to put to him, but listen to what him say. And him back Juliet. And guess what happened when they put that paper for the financial statement? You see, say, if Mark Golding wasn't serious and focused on the job where we elect him to do as the opposition, it would be wrong that him have to turn around and say, you know something, this is wrong. Didn't Juliet read it?
Let me tell you
Didn't
something.
she sign off on it?
Let me tell you something, Carla. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Mark Jefferson Golding is superior to all others in the parliament when it comes to the parliamentary procedure dealing with the bills and passing laws and all of them things there. Them not in a Mark Golding class. They wrote that, have it there for when, and it took Mark Golding just a few hours, if so much, to find the error in it and send them back or rewrite it and come back. Tell her.
And they have to recess, don't it?
Of course, they have to take a recess and go fix it.
All right.
I wonder if the
And
Lebanese them see that.
Me no know because you realize, say, stick a pin. Dean Jackson.
With that.
All right. Dean Jackson came out and wrote and did a commentary. And she said, since the PNP know, say, in Flight Green and Theme crew were working with Juliet and Andrew, is there to block, muzzle, circumvent, do everything in their power to stop any good for the Jamaican people, them coming from the opposition. Them have to find another strategy. So you can say even 24 to 48 hours where flight doing so would be reasonable, null and void with just where Mark Golding find out.
But I think at the end of the parliament yesterday, Juliet admitted, that she could have to deal with the question them, But Carla, we're going to have to run here.
Ari.
We'll talk again. Mystical, call me now. 876-804-7072. Mystical is speaking. We're getting off at 7 o'clock tonight. Yes, man, the big show is on. We're coming with the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help us God. Because people out there where truth sounds like hate to them because them hate the truth. When we come here, it is all about Jamaica. Me no want a boy call me no PNP blogger. Me no blogger. And when me come on this program, me no come represent the PNP. Yeah? Me represent Jamaica. I am a member of the People's National Party. But when I sit down in front of this mic here, my thing is about Jamaica. Hello, good evening. Turn off the instrument in the background, please. And listen to me on your telephone. Go ahead and talk to me.
Yes. Good night, sir.
Good night and welcome.
Yes. Three quick things.
Yeah.
I don't like the behavior of the speaker at the house. I think our tone is too personal. Our tone is very personal. And it sends the wrong message. And every time she behaves so, it made the Jamaica people say, boy, the PNP should never support her being the speaker at the house. She's too personal in her tone.
Yes.
Yes. And the next thing, what I want to tell you about is that at the rest of the country, there's a lot of patrol. There's a lot of patrol when you drive on the road, and it's very sad. It's like the rest of the country is being neglected.
They've been doing that for some time.
Yes, a lot of patrol, and we are suffer as motorists.
Yes, sir. Respect and thanks. What else? Yes, sir. Three things that are two.
Yes, the next thing that I didn't Campbell ask a question. You see, with the housing, I think it was a very good question. They are talking about container house, and he said that most of these container houses that are crane for to deliver them, and some person live up on some hilltop.
Yes.
You understand? So I'm kind of concerned about those people also. And the housing program with the one house business where them talk about, that not gonna work. That can't work.
Can't continue. We need to build some concrete houses for the people.
Yes,
Quick
that
and
can't work.
fast.
And I don't know why the government never do a plan of building some starter house.
That
if
is
I
it.
to give them a structure
Yes.
and give them to finish up.
Yes, man.
Just give them a structure and then put in a window and then door and then something. You understand?
Yes, man.
But me no know. The housing plan is not a sound plan. There's a lot of person still I go sleep out a door for months. I tell you, and if I never for the Jamaican people and we are going there like yourself and the artists them and some good Samaritan,
Yes.
we don't know how the people would have managed if it was the government alone.
If I did the government alone, people dead for hungry down at that, brother. Dead for hungry.
I tell you.
Yeah,
I tell you. And I think the Prime Minister should have never make such statement out of mouth when he said people to stop take picture and protect people's dignity, because there's nobody else love it. Every time he do something, him take picture. One day after that, him go Maroon Town and he give a Starlink and everything and him take picture.
Yeah, man.
Picture and video and all sort of something.
Then when you give you the one house, they may not take picture to man. If you not take picture the one house, now you not get your house. Picture of it take.
Yes, and there's somewhere and everything them do. Why them have to do ribbon cutting? Them get some water truck, them a keep big ceremony and all them so them to stop waste them money, them man. Put it in the media so we get 6.
All right, my brother.
Waste them money.
Thank you. We're run.
Yes.
876-804-7072, the Colin Bell Show. Good evening.
Shaka, my brother, how are you?
Mr. Colin speaking. What go on, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm there, brother. There. You know, me can't understand complex things that come from the side of the house, you know. Me not so bright to understand them complex matters, so me have to rely upon other people to break it down for me, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I want to interrogate a little simple matter. Yeah, you know, it's a simple matter, but it's not simple. No, I want you to play back Damian's question to the financial secretary in respect of JPS and the loan. I want you to play about that because I want to ask a question related to what the finance minister said.
Mobilize private investments to the tune of 2.4 billion. And that would represent the new amounts. The rest is our instruments.
The rest you had told us about at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Sorry?
The rest you had itemized at the last sitting of the PAAC.
Yes.
All right. So that the 0.7.
Yeah, the 0.7 was from the cat bond, the CREEF, the.
All right. So if I can focus on the 2.4, could you explain what is meant by mobilizing investment? Is that a loan?
Love is why you
coming to the government to unlend, or is that a loan directly to private sector?
That's would be primarily the IMF, the World Bank and the IDB, private sector arms, who generally mobilize money from the private sector in order to lend to the private sector of the country.
So is private to private?
Private to private.
So that 2.4 billion have not been secured?
No.
So what has been secured is the 3.6 billion and the money from the insurance.
In terms of on the government side, that is what is.
Okay, so the headline would have been misleading to say 6.7 billion secured.
You could say that.
Okay, so the 2.4 billion that is to be mobilized, is that dependent on the appetite of the private sector for borrowing?
All right, so I don't have all of those details, so I would not be able to address it.
All right, the 3.6 billion, do we know of the interest rate that is being applied to the 3.6 billion?
No, this is across four or five different institutions. So at this time, we would not be able to indicate.
Understood. The amount, the Minister of Finance suggested that some funds would have been secured on behalf of the JPS from these funds. Is that so, or am I misunderstood?
That's not a correct representation of
Okay.
what she indicated.
Can you clear that up for me, please?
She indicated that the multilaterals could now potentially loan JPS some funds, not that it had already been.
Oh, so the 2.4 billion JPS could apply if it so decides,
I don't know if it's in that 2.4 billion.
or any other funds that are available. Would therefore the JPS have to qualify under the terms that would have existed?
Cannot answer any of those detailed questions, sir.
I'm sorry. All right. Have you any information about the loan to JPS itself from the government, the 150 million or 23 billion Jamaican?
That negotiation is underway.
So that has not been closed as yet?
It's not closed.
And no interest rate or anything have been identified?
The minister did speak to something yesterday.
Can you remind me if you know what the interest rate is?
5.5.
5.5%. Okay.
Colin?
No, hold on. There's one more piece. You want to hear the next piece, or that's enough?
Go ahead, man.
One more piece.
As it relates to the loan to JPS, are you aware if there were any other method considered, including a government guarantee?
I think you need to address those questions to the minister.
Reasonable. All right. So what hit would that $23 billion have on the current capacity to spend? Based on the supplement, have you seen that that would have impacted the ability to spend on other items?
Okay, so the country is in the recovery process from the hurricane. This recovery, given the devastation, is going to take several years. There is really a limit to what can be spent in any given period. So providing the JPS with this money will not, in the current period, impact the country's ability to continue the recovery.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Colin.
Yes, and you know what the junior finance minister said.
No, the financial secretary.
No, man, the junior finance minister I'm talking about.
Oh, the lady that spoke yesterday.
Yes.
Oh,
the junior finance minister.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because the big man that spoke before is the senior.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen now, what the answer she gave to Zara, the JPS, and the loan from the multilateral, how do we reconcile her answer to Zara with that of the financial secretary to Damian? You see any gaps in the answers? Could we match those answers?
They are major gaps
with each other?
There are major gaps. There are major gaps.
No, Colin, do you see the multilateral? Remember, no, it's 2 years left on the contract for JPS, and the minister is adamant, right?
Mm-hmm.
The minister is adamant that they're not renegotiating that contract. Extending the contract. Am I right?
Well, he didn't just leave it
beyond
there.
The 2 years.
He said he's not going to extend the license under the same terms and conditions that the present one is under.
All right. So essentially, he doesn't expect that this license will exceed another 2 years.
It no looks so based on what they are saying now, because it seems like the government has secured the loan for JPS.
From whom?
From the multilaterals.
No, but remember, the multilateral are mobilizing the $2.4 billion.
But
and out of that $2.4 billion, JPS might be able to obtain a loan from the multilateral.
But mystical.
That's what I got,
No, but what the financial secretary said, and if you understand the private part of that loan, they are going to mobilize that. So what the financial secretary said, that part is not yet secured because the two multilaterals are now going out there to get investors to be willing to invest in Jamaica. And that's why Damian asked the question, wouldn't that depend on the appetite of the private sector?
I heard that.
Right? And therefore, if that not mobilized yet or sign off on yet, remember now JPS have a timeline to complete restoration by the first part of February.
Yeah, so we're back at the 150. We're back at the 150 million of the government already loaned to JPS. We are back at that.
But Faval say, don't worry about that 1.1. We are gonna get it back. And how y'all get back something you know lend yet, brother? Remember this. Listen to this listen to this from yesterday. Listen to this one from yesterday, brother. Listen to this from yesterday.
About projection of 68% for debt to GDP. How do I compare that to the 41% wipeout of GDP? The 41%, member, is a measure of the damage relative to your GDP.
Sorry. Here it is.
The question about the loan to JPS, is the government prepared to lend the entire amount? I think that was your question. So the loan to JPS was $150 million so that they could accelerate the pace at which Jamaicans get their lights back, which businesses get their light back. Madam Speaker, already I could say to you, you don't have to worry that the government is going to lend the entire amount, right? Already our international partners have indicated that within that package that's announced, there is about 450 million for JPS. And what that will do is allow for our loan of 150 million to be repaid back to us, so we get back the liquidity. It didn't happen.
You hear that?
But Colin, Mr. understand where you're going? You understand where you're going, brother? You understand where you're going?
Yes, I understand.
You understand the generalship?
No, they
you
are.
understand dishonesty?
No, what I understand is that they are hiding something.
Well, then what? No generalship that?
Yes,
no
but me don't know where them are hide, but me know them are hide something.
So we don't need to go no further in the argument because we identify the gaps, we identify well, you know what I mean? Yeah, we identify everything we're wrong about it and everything we're not right about it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
so we don't even need to argue about it, yeah? Because we knew from last week when the minister, the minister of transport spoke, him write the check out time account that are coming up.
Yeah,
so him write the check long time.
I want to write the check. I want to write the check and give them a morning. I want to give them a morning. A morning. I want to give them a morning.
A Fantan Moja.
Tell her.
The man to the people in the money a long time when him come and tell you about this and that they will give JPS. That's something right long time. Yeah? I don't know any interest. Remember, no, we meet at the highest level. Me, I wonder if I'm at the Prime Minister because remember I said they met with the finance minister and the financial secretary at the highest level. You know?
So the Prime Minister was there.
He say can't get higher than that.
So the Prime Minister was there.
It means the Prime Minister, he never mentioned him. Higher than the finance minister and the financial secretary. So him at both the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Colin, lot more to come.
Not terrible. Listen, man. we're in a terrible situation. And I repeat what I have said all the time. We're not going nowhere, brother. Not until these people are collapsed from the system. We're not going nowhere. It's the same thing for dinner, same thing for breakfast, same thing for supper, the same thing you will get out of this administration. Nothing better.
Mystical little more are going to run.
One love.
Blessings, my brother. My people, I want to thank you all for being with me this evening. It's Wednesday evening. It was your evening. We took the calls and we saw the messages. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again, Saturday morning. Blessings, my people. One love.